Hey everyone, welcome back to Kevin Reviews. I just finished watching Caddyshack. This is a 1980 film that's directed by Harold Ramis, also written by Harold Ramis, and Harold Ramis is famous for his role in Ghostbusters. He played Egon. I hope I got the name correctly. I've only seen Ghostbusters once. I'm sorry. And he also directed one of my favorite films, not Caddyshack, Groundhog Day, and yeah, so he's pretty well. I think he's pretty well known. He's pretty well loved by a lot of audience who either grew up seeing him or just seen his films, or So, but in any case, this Caddyshack is also written by Brian Doyle Murphy, Douglas Kinney, and this stars Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield, Bill Murray, Ted Knight, and Michael O'Keefe. Um, so I remember hearing about this film growing up, that it was considered a classic screwball comedy, and I didn't get around to seeing it till maybe I think um, early 2010s, maybe mid 2010s. I'm not 100% certain, but this was around the time I was in college. Um, so so I remember hearing about it. But I went out of my way to actually buy a copy, as you saw, and I popped it in, and well, uh, if you've seen the thumbnail of that, that looks like I'm kind of raging out. There's a reason, and I'm sorry to say, the first time I saw this, I hated it. I really hated it. And I have tried on separate occasions to watch it again and try to see it from a different point of view, and or whatever, but I still didn't like it. And maybe hate's too strong a word, but um but I do but this is hard because in a way I don't want to review this, because I know this probably likely have many people hating me for not liking maybe one a great screwball comedy, and I perfectly understand that, because if this works for you, if this film really made you laugh, or whatever, that's totally fine. I feel like Peter Griffin from Family Guy, who flat out said that I do not care about The Godfather, and you know that kind of thing. So yeah, I feel nervous about doing this, because this is the first probably of reviewing something that I'm likely in the minority of those who don't like it. So as for what I thought about it watching again, because I think this is like the fourth time I watched it. Well, you see, here's the review. So the story is in Caddyshack. Frankly, doesn't have like a really that important story. That is a story nonetheless, where Danny Noonan, played by Michael O'Keefe, is is a teen who's a caddy at a rich golf course, who is competing in a tournament and is also trying to get a caddy scholarship, so he can go to college. So he has to resort to sucking up um, a to Ted Knight's character, who I'm just going to call Judge. Um, that's what he is. He's supposed to be Judge, like the head honcho on the golf course, or whatever. And and he's like the richest snob, and he always likes to try to play the game his way, and always wants to win. And sometimes he'll even cheat if he needs to. Um, but in any case, so he tries to suck it up to him so he can get the scholarship that way. Um, then we have the other cast of characters. Chevy Chase, is like this, uh, supposed to be this wise golf guru who's like really good at golf, always um, plays the game. Rodney Dangerfield is an eccentric kind of, rich guy who loves to party, but is quite a distraction on the golf course and gets under Ted Knight's character's skin. Literally just gets on his nerves. So, and then we have Bill Murray, who's playing as a greenskeeper on the golf course, and his main goal is to try and kill a gopher, which is like this little puppet, like puppet muppet type, thing. So he has to try to kill it because the gopher is wreaking havoc on the golf course, and that's basically it. We just kind of see these characters just thrown in together and just let the comedy ensue. And for the most part, that should work. But like I said, I've seen this 4 times, 4 separate times, and I hate it. Hate may be a strong word. I didn't love it. It didn't make me laugh once. I found the characters to be pretty bland overall, even if it's comedy legends like Rodney Dangerfield, who granted is entertaining with those one-liners, but frankly, it's Rodney Dangerfield. If it was just a golf course where it just has Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield, and Ted Knight and whatever, just kind of be themselves, I mean, I would believe it. But frankly, they're just, Chevy Chase. They're just Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield playing characters, or at most playing just themselves. So I don't really know the names of the characters well enough. I think Chevy Chase is like Ty or something. I don't remember. But in any case, I didn't find it funny. And granted, I saw this all the 4 separate times I saw it was by myself, so maybe that's why I didn't find it funny. The other thing could also likely be because this is a film from 1980, and we're in 2025 now, and it just doesn't hold up very well. It can be sexist, a bit pervy, especially I think from Bill Murray's character. Though there's like 2 moments and that's it. And Chevy Chase can be that too, and I'm sure Rodney Dangerfield has some kind of jokes involving that. But yeah, it just doesn't hold up very well. I don't think, in my opinion, even though I'm not sure if the comedy holds up very well. But if you like that kind of comedy, good on you. That's fine. Comedy is subjective. But if you don't, that's fine. That's also fine. I'm not trying to play both sides, but I understand that it is that what comedy can be, and it is subjective. So, man, I won't lie. I feel like Peter Griffin from Family Guy, who in that one scene where he told his family during I think it was a storm. I don't watch Family Guy that much, but there's that one scene where he flat out tells his family that he did not care for The Godfather, and everybody in his family were like, "What? You didn't like The Godfather?" Or whatever. And this is the same for Caddyshack. And I don't know if Caddyshack is still very popular nowadays, or if it was popular, as it was back then. It did get a sequel. The sequel, I hear, is really terrible. I also heard, and I think in this movie could also be in the other movie, that Chevy Chase is difficult to work with, and or was terrible to work with, and I understand that. I mean, I hear the stories, so but yeah, if he was difficult to work with, that's understandable. The Some of the humor stuff, like, I don't know, there's stuff that ones that get blown out of proportion, like the ending, especially, like this one tournament or this bet that they do. There's this one scene where they're out on the lake or ocean, like I think that's this yacht club, and I kind of know where it's gonna go, frankly, and and maybe that's another thing because I do think it's predictable, but I don't know if that predictability is technically the movie's fault. It's just probably because I've seen enough comedy movies, especially rom com type movies or just any kind of raunchy other comedy. So I kind of pick it up a little bit more. Um, but I think overall, what would have made this film better for me if there was more, if it did focus more on Danny Noonan, or and especially make the story stronger for me to be invested, because I'm more into comedies that bounces comedy and drama out more than just flat out comedy. Because um, I don't know, and I wish the characters were better or more memorable, or relatable. But I don't think the movie cares. I feel like it doesn't care, and that's totally fine. Um, I almost feel like this movie could actually work for me if it was a cartoon series or a adult cartoon movie about all these shenanigans that are happening on this golf course, and which I probably would enjoy. It even makes sense for Bill Murray's character going after the gopher. We don't have to have the hand puppet, uh, you know, or whatever. Not maybe not a hand puppet, but a puppet, doing trying to do some of the comedy. So I don't know. Uh, is there anything good? I would say Ted Knight has pretty funny reactions. That I will give. Maybe not. I didn't laugh at the reaction, but it is entertaining to watch. Where he gets all, Buggy Eye gets really angry. That one scene, uh, that one line he does, like, "Well, we're waiting." I might have butchered that, but so yeah. Um, the Yeah, I think that at least was entertaining enough. But frankly, I would not see this again solo. If I had an audience who said, want to watch Caddyshack, where it's like three or four friends, maybe family members, I would, because I would like to try to give this a chance and like to say, I enjoy this movie. I would like to do that. But frankly, as solo, watching it solo as of now, I don't like it, and I would give it 1 star personally. Um, so if you like it, good for you. I'm happy that you love it. I think overall it's just not for me. But what are your thoughts on Caddyshack? Do you like it? Did you hate it? I'm totally open to for any criticism, or what your thoughts in general. Feel free to like or dislike, and feel free to subscribe to my channel if you like what you're seeing. And I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye.